Here's a fun fact. It's been more than 2 times as long since Episode 2 as it has been between the release of Half-Life 1 and Episode 2. And that's 18 whole years, and since then the only new Half-Life installment we got was Half-Life Alyx, which was more of a side story and prequel to Half-Life 2. Not to mention it's VR exclusive, although I saw something about it being playable on PC thanks to mods. The only problem with that is I feel like the gameplay designed around VR wouldn't mesh well with PC controls, but I might still give it a try at some point. The actual point is that Half-Life 3 is definitely right around the corner, and I need to make this video before then, so... Now, I don't want to make this intro too long, but I also have a few things that I want to cement in film and put out there. The video serves a few purposes. Firstly, it allows me to remember what I thought about the Half-Life games before I do eventually play Half-Life 3. Eventually. And I've had many experiences with games or films after which I try to remember how I thought about that piece of media before consuming it, trying to feel the drastic shift in perspective that happened, or maybe didn't if my preconceptions were mostly accurate. You can't really undo playing or watching something, even though sometimes you might really want to, and this video helps with that. Secondly, it's a great place to leave some predictions about what could happen in the next game, since, it'd feel pretty cool getting some stuff right. Now, I said that, but actually coming up with any sane-sounding specific predictions feels quite difficult. But, here we go anyways. 1, we'll actually see the Borealis in-game with additional aperture technology. 2, Dog will sacrifice himself to save someone else. 3, we'll get to see the higher-ups of the Combine from the Combine overworld. And 4, Barney will finally buy Gordon that beer he's been owing him for over 20 years.
Hey, catch me later, I'll buy you a beer. 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 Catch me later, I'll buy you a beer.
I'm honestly banking all my chips on this last one, because that just would be the best way they could write the ending. No question about it. Lastly, if you somehow haven't yet played through the Half-Life series, then this not very comprehensive, and at times nonsensical compilation of almost all the Half-Life games can serve as an introduction of sorts. Alternatively, you could, and should, just play the games since they really are a great experience. Also, note the price tags during sales.
Wouldn't it be fantastic to get some pure readings for a change? That's odd.
I had a bunch of messages for you, but we had a system crash about 20 minutes ago, and I'm still trying to find my files. Just one of those days, I guess. They were having some problems down in the test chamber, too, but I think that's all straightened out. They told me to make sure you headed down there as soon as you got into your hazard suit.
You'll soon notice that this video is less essay and more just my playthrough going over the main Valve installments and both Gearbox DLCs. It was the first time I sat down and played the games in order since 2019, and it was a thoroughly enjoyable experience, regardless of what some of the upcoming moments may suggest. This means I'll be going over the games in order as well, and I'll try not to skip around too much to the other games ahead of time so that everyone can more or less stay on the same page. Sound good? Great. Enjoy the keyboard.
Gordon. Inhibitors in 3, 2.
Yeah, this is for science.
I'm seeing predictable phase arrays.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well. While making this video, I was thinking about ways I could make it more interesting, and I came to the conclusion that this video needs a tier list. Every self-respecting YouTuber has to have done one of these at some point, and this is my chance to get in with the big leagues by making a tier list of all the Half-Life 1 NPC deaths. That's right, every single scripted and unscripted character death, not exhaustive, will be rated and tiered throughout the course of this segment of the video. I know, really innovative stuff. The first group of scientists that goes on the list are all the guys near the test chamber who get caught up in the resonance cascade, probably getting zapped or teleported away. B tier because they sounded funny, even though you couldn't actually see them. Up ahead, another group of scientists fall down an elevator shaft and blow up. Solid A tier. The scientist that gets grabbed by a headcrab in one of the rooms gets another A tier, being the first showcase of a headcrab zombification, and then the security guard that bleeds out right as you get to him goes in D tier. Not much to say here. Yeah, oh, can't really do much against this technique, huh? I mean, it's for science. Pretty early on, I realized the 25th anniversary edition that I started playing on was a bit whack, feeling weird to play compared to the older version. Wow. Oh. Since when can they do that, huh? In any case. Oh yeah. He's still there! Bro! Okay, well, these guys are calm, so that's fine. Okay, don't tell me he's gonna be here again. Oh. Hello, guys. Don't mind me. Just like one of you is, I swear to God, if he's still here. He's still here! Help! That's not supposed to happen! Oh. Guys, there we go. Then I got near the end of Unforeseen Consequences, tried to do this cool tech with this box, and realized that they fix objects to stop them from sliding away at you at Mach 10. I downgraded to the Steam Legacy version, but the issue persisted, and after, I shit you not, a whole hour of trying the same thing over and over, I finally decided to download the older speedrunning version, at which point I did the funny movement within like 5 attempts. By the way, this is just for reference. Moving forward, I stayed on the Legacy version because it felt the most right to play, so if the UI in-game looks slightly different, that's why. One thing to say about this early game, and honestly the whole game in general, there were a lot more secret side areas than I expected. Usually I just run through most maps pretty quickly, but stopping to explore a bit more leads to some cool side content. Here, for example, you can get the shotgun earlier, and even before that, there's a cache with grenades that you can get to if you lead a scientist to unlock one of the doors. Oh. What do you want, bro? Doesn't even say hi. What a rude person. Move! Move! Thank you. Guys, Gordon wouldn't ever do that. I mean, that's funny if you think about it. Like, Half-Life 1 allows you to, like, do all this, like, kill scientists and stuff. And then in the second game, like, you can't do any friendly fire damage. Oh. Here's another fact. You can completely skip 2 chapters in the game, those being We've Got Hostiles and Powering Up. I'll talk more about powering up later, and as for We've Got Hostiles, you can get the scientist to pathfind to the normally shut door, opening it, because apparently every character except for Gordon can operate doors. Doing this saves the scientist, but you know we can't be having any of that, so this one is the first S-tier death, combined with the security guard.
Oh my God, we're doomed!
Oh, it's a mess, isn't it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Just go. Just go. Just go. Just go. Just go. Okay. Whew. I didn't do that. Oh.
Rescued at last. Thank God you're here.
Why'd you do that, bro? Just planted a grenade down on the ground and was like, okay. Also, if I'm not mistaken, it's an M4 here, but I'm pretty sure it's an SMG in the older version, maybe, or the anniversary version. Also has alt fire, but I don't think I have any ammo.
Well, so much for the government. Their idea of containment is to kill everyone associated with the project. Judging from your hazard suit, I'd say you were part of what went wrong. Isn't that right? Now look, if anyone can end this catastrophe, it's the science team in the Lambda complex at the opposite end of the base. With the transit system out, I couldn't tell you how to get there. But there's an old decommissioned rail system somewhere through here, beyond the silo complex. If you can make it through the rocket test labs, you might be able to worm your way through the old tunnels to track down whatever's left of the Lambda team. You can trust them. You can trust all of us. Good luck.
In the blast pit, the scientist getting grabbed by the hypersuctor the tentacle gets an A tier. S tier if we're talking Spanish dub. In other news, Green Scientist Man gets introduced in this chapter, becoming a recurring character in the subsequent installments, and probably one of my favorite characters in the entire series. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with this. They do love their explosive crates and barrels, although can you blame them? It's kind of like the most fun part of this entire game. I'm pretty sure what you can do... Oh. Pretty sure what you can do is... Wait, what? That's definitely not... Also, I'm realizing now that looking down... Oh, it electrified. Wait, Twin, are you dead up there? Nowadays, everyone is familiar with invisible walls that some devs like to place everywhere they can reach to stop you from going out of bounds or sequence breaking and getting ahead of the game. Back in 1998, optimization was more important in games, and my hypothesis is that Valve didn't bother placing additional invisible clip brushes for that reason. Because of that, you can just climb over these barricades and skip a whole chapter, something that just wouldn't fly with games made today. Also, C-tier soldier deaths, nobody cares about them. And now the fun part about skipping this chapter is that you also skip getting the train cart, which the next chapter is primarily designed around. And if you couldn't tell, I 100% recommend skipping the train cart. Okay. Wait, am I stuck in here? Oh, I know you could just swim that. No, I'm just confused. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad, bro. I'm just disappointed. This really is just... Huh. Wait, I don't think you can hit me if I'm crouched. Also, how much fucking ammo do you have, bro? Dude, I feel that, dude, that's grazing my head, bro. Oh my god. Well, you're dead, bro. Learn to aim better next time, okay? A-tier fish moment, and I appreciate the little lore bit about the ichthyosaur the scientist shares, how some of the other scientists were told it came from the Challenger Deep, when in reality it's another Zen species that was studied at Black Mesa in secret. On another tangent relating to the ichthyosaur, I was looking at its wiki page that had some pictures of the creature in earlier versions of Half-Life 2 before it got scrapped. Some of these were taken on a map called Icky Pop, which was apparently created by Mark Laidlaw, the lead writer for the Half-Life games. The wiki page also has a link to a YouTube video that showed off this map alongside the map download. And how should I put this? It's quite unique. Is that the G-Man? Oh my god, he's walking away. Oh, I never even realized, but the green bars actually show you how much ammo you can have.
Make sure you don't.
Oh. Come for me, bro. I'm right here, bro. I'm right here, bro. You got me. Hello. I sure hope nobody ambushes me when I go into this room to... Actually, I don't even need to heal. I don't know why they... I think they thought that I'd be playing so bad that I'd need a healing. There's 2 like heal stations out there, but you know, I'm not falling for it, even though I am falling for it. So.
I see it.
You see what? What do you see, bro? Post-residue processing, you can really feel the game ramp up as you make your way up and out during questionable ethics, reaching surface tension, the longest and arguably hardest chapter in the game. Let's hope they can pull up. What's a fucking grenade? Oh, and another grenade. Come on, a third one? So that's my head, by the way. Anyways, yeah, that's not happening. In questionable ethics, we have one notable death moment. The scientist and security guard that get blown up off screen by the Gauss cannon. B tier. Surprisingly, surface tension doesn't have any unavoidable friendly NPC deaths, only marines and Zen creatures that fight you and each other. Nearing the end, there's a gargantua that smushes 2 completely clueless marines with a car, landing them in B tier as well. And I'll also put the gargantua on the list, because it does a funny stretching effect when it blows up. PNG stretches out. Dude, it's too easy. This gun's really good, man. This has got to be an S tier gun. First of all, infinite ammo, so you could use it anywhere. Right? Like, come on. That by itself is worth so much. I'll be honest, I didn't quite understand Lambda Core. I just went where the arrows pointed, and then eventually reached this portal puzzle that I did with trial and error until it worked, and I reached the reactor. Here you get kitted up as one of the scientists explains your mission. Go through to Zen and kill the creature that is responsible for sustaining the connection to stop the aliens from making it to Earth. Along the way, you also kill a big testicle monster and massacre a whole bunch of enslaved Vortigaunt factory workers. Fun stuff. Okay, he just got crushed. Good for him. As for the Nylonth fight, it was surprisingly easy. The strat I used was to break the 3 yellow crystals on the wall right as the fight starts, to stop the Nylonth from healing while I sat behind this outcrop and rocketed or crossbowed his head until all his sparks dulled. Then I just used one of the launch pads to lob some SMG grenades at his exposed core, and he was done. The only real danger are his portals that he can spawn Vortigaunts or flyers from, so take care of those as they appear, and it becomes a very light fight. Woo! That's how you do it, baby! And then don't land on something to kill yourself. Okay, it's actually really easy. Also, all I have to do is like hide behind this thing here. Also, nice PNGs. Yeah, so literally just hide behind this thing, break the far crystals, and then crossbow his head until it opens, and then unload all of your SMG or M4 nades. Easy.
Gordon Freeman in the flesh. Or rather, in the hazard suit. I took the liberty of relieving you. Wisely done, Mr. Freeman. I will see you up ahead.
Now, I was gonna do this thing where G-Man ends his dialogue, the screen goes black, and then a few seconds later G-Man's Half-Life 2 intro starts, because that's what Gordon would see from his perspective. But then I remembered I still need to do blue shift and opposing force first, so that's off the table.
I'll be happy to survive this with all my parts.
Before looking into it, I assumed that Gearbox made Blue Shift first, and then used their experience from that to create Opposing Force, which had more features, weapons, enemies, chapters, and pretty much everything else. To my surprise, Opposing Force came out in 1999, and Blue Shift followed 2 years later in 2001. That means that actually this isn't the Blue Shift segment, but instead, the Opposing Force segment. But actually, I'm breaking chronological order because it's my video, and I want to do this transition.
Good morning, and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System. This automated train is provided for the security and convenience of the Black Mesa Research Facility personnel.
Blue Shift is short and sweet. Nothing special, just more Half-Life 1 gameplay, a small Zen section, and a few cool Gordon cameos.
Good morning, Gordon.
If you're to believe that Blue Shift and or Opposing Force are canon, then this is the Barney Calhoun's POV as he deals with the aftermath of the Resonance Cascade and the story of how he managed to get out of Black Mesa alive. But being short doesn't mean the game can't be hard, and surprisingly the first half was pretty hard. Ammo was relatively scarce, and I ended up spending all of it on the tanky Vortigaunts and Bull Squids that the game started throwing at me from the get-go.
Ay, bro. Okay, there's just another one? My god. I remember my issue with Blue Shift is that they just, even more so than the first game, they just spawn Vortigaunts on you like there's no tomorrow.
If I were to replay the game again, I would focus on killing as many headcrabs as possible with the crowbar, saving pistol ammo for the Vortigaunts that can be killed from afar, while using the shotgun and later the revolver to kill the Vortigaunts the game spawns on top and behind you. It's the one aspect of the game I didn't like much, since playing on hard, even just one shot from a Vortigaunt takes away a considerable amount of your health. It doesn't help that you don't have the standard HEV suit, and must instead get armor from the basic vests and helmets, which are pretty scarce.
I lie.
Well, you know what? I'm actually glad that I was able to take that guy down without him shooting me. It's just bullshit. It's because it's like they spawn in and are like literally frame one casting their zap spell on you. Zap spell, by the way, hit scan. Hit scan, by the way. Okay, what the fuck is that, bro? Yeah, they're really just pulling out all the bullshit cards. I mean, I'm sorry, but like that's literally what that is. Writing this, I also realized that Blue Shift doesn't have a boss fight, and the closest thing to it is the tank out in the train yard. The game is just that short, and doesn't have any serious climax point. Even at the end, when you charge the teleporter, there's only like 3 soldiers that run out to stop you, and you can simply ignore them and jump into the portal anyways. Of the 3 games thus far, this is the only one where I actually bothered doing the tutorial since it had the greatest amount of effort put into it, in my opinion, and also G-Man makes another appearance, setting up for the big disaster. I also did the tutorial because I remembered that this game had some extra mechanics, but I forgot how exactly they worked. In truth, it was a lot simpler than I thought it would be, and the only part I found jank was the rope climbing, but that mechanic only got utilized like once or twice in the entire campaign, so it doesn't really matter.
In this exercise, you will be firing at targets both moving and...
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Makes sense that you can do that.
Watch your vector, Goose 3. It's getting a little time here.
Guys, look, it's the cliffside. It's cliffside from that other game. From the Half-Life the cliffside. Oh, and okay, and they missed it. In this game, you start off with the pipe wrench instead of the crowbar, which, I'll be honest, is just better. It feels nice and hefty, and it can pack a punch when you charge it up, killing headcrabs in one blow, just like the Half-Life 2 crowbar. The next weapon is another new one, a Desert Eagle with a laser sight attachment, serving as this game's revolver. Just like the revolver, it one-shots smaller enemies and is quite accurate, but only if the laser sight is turned on, which I didn't realize until I read the wiki. If the laser sight is off, it can be fired much faster, but with less accuracy, explaining why sometimes I would be missing multiple shots in a row, wondering if the game was bugging or I'm just complete trash.
What is that? I am so confused. I am befuddled beyond belief. Oh.
In terms of difficulty, I found this game to be the hardest, mainly due to the sheer number of scummy enemy spawns that chunk away almost as much health as you replenish. The game also introduces more, harder enemies as you progress, including more Black Ops soldiers that were sent out to take out the HECU soldiers that were sent out to take out the scientists to keep the incident under wraps. Actually, the Black Ops were sent to nuke the whole facility out of existence, but the other explanation sounded better, so let's leave it at that.
Sooner or later.
The funny thing about these Black Ops guys is that they don't actually have a head hitbox for some reason. This, in combination with my lack of knowledge about the Deagle, had me gaslighting myself that I just couldn't play the game, which was only partially true. The other part was that these guys are just a lot harder to take down, contributing to the game's difficulty.
I swear to God, if that didn't kill him, bro.
I noticed that the sequence where you see Gordon jumping through the portal to Zen happens right around the midpoint of the game, and now with him out of the picture, the only perspective we have within the Black Mesa facility is Adrian Shepard's. Up until now, there were very few new enemy sightings, but with Gordon gone, the game can start introducing Race X in full, without causing any major timeline complications. A new group of aliens also means new weaponry, in the form of the Shock Roach and Spore Launcher. There are also a bunch more non-biological weapons, like the LMG and Sniper Rifle, and also the Displacer Cannon, which, as the name implies, can be used to displace yourself. Now, I completely forgot about it having such a feature, so I used it purely as a heavy damage dealer to take out the larger enemies. And all these weapons were fun to play around with, but I did feel like by the end there were a bit too many of them to choose from. Some felt like very similar versions of other weapons, and I found myself relying on the same 2 or 3 picks for like 90% of the encounters. Speaking of encounters, the game has 2 bosses, the Pitworm and the Gene Worm, both worms, and both follow the same Half-Life pattern of being much easier than the rest of the game. The Pitworm is similar to the tentacles from the Blast Pit. Here you also need to flush it out in order to proceed forward, doing so by flipping some switches that are labeled as a pretty obvious nod to the developers. The Gene Worm is even easier. You get an infinite healing source and 2 laser turrets to take out its eyes to expose its core. From there, just blast it with anything you have, and it'll go down in 2 or 3 cycles.
Now look at that. I mean, it's like the easiest thing in the world.
What I really liked near the ending of the game was this moment with the warhead the Black Ops were setting up to destroy and cover up the incident. Up to this point, you've heard here and there that the Black Ops were planning something like this, and you stumble upon the location where they ended up priming the bomb, getting ready to set it off.
It's fine, bro. The bomb doesn't... No, bro. I was like, it's fine. The bomb won't activate for me shooting a fucking rocket straight at it. It's fine. I was right. I took the gamble. I got paid.
You disarm the bomb to proceed, but then a moment later the G-Man can be seen rearming it again, and this time you can't go back to stop it. Then, when the game ends and the G-Man picks you up, you can hear the bomb going off, leading to the conclusion that the Black Mesa facility was destroyed in the end.
I think that's finally taken care of itself.
This leads to the big question of whether or not Opposing Force and Blue Shift are canon to the Half-Life timeline. We obviously have Gordon as the main character, and everything we see and do from his perspective is undeniably real in-game, but can the same be said for Barney and Adrian's actions? I think answering this question is easier if the 2 games were talked about separately, starting with a simpler one. According to an email response from Mark Laidlaw, the one specific Barney character wasn't thought out until Half-Life 2, and all the security guards in Half-Life were called Barney because they shared the same model and voice actor. Blue Shift focused on the story of one such guard that managed to get out of Black Mesa alive, and while being developed, Gearbox got Laidlaw to give that main character a last name, Calhoun, only apparently spelled like so. Laidlaw also commented on Blue Shift's ending, quote, "It also doesn't particularly bother me to think maybe it was the story of how the Barney in Half-Life 2 escaped Black Mesa." I'd say this also helps answer the question with Opposing Force, which acts as a more extreme case. The answer isn't a definitive yes for either games, but both have the potential of being canonized in the future, however slim the chances of that are. It would be easier for Blue Shift since the game takes less creative liberties and stays pretty much 100% consistent with what happened in Half-Life. Opposing Force has Race X to worry about, and all the events at Black Mesa that occurred after Gordon's teleportation to Zen. It also doesn't help that Adrian Shepard is a completely new character, unlike the Barney Calhoun, but who am I to say what Valve will and won't do in a game that may or may not ever come out? Okay, maybe there was a little bit of copium at the end there. There's no way any of this is happening. Unless? But probably not. But maybe. But most likely, I don't know. I don't know, we'll just have to see. We'll just have to wait and see.
Wisely done, Mr. Freeman. I will see you up ahead.
Now I do the transition. Not very impressive, but if you assume Gordon was sleeping through those 20 years in between 1 and 2, that's pretty much what it would feel like, right? I guess he could have been having dreams or some such.
Dear Dr. Gray, why has the so fit to suppress
I will say the jump from New Mexico desert to Eastern European city blocks is quite jarring, but man did Valve do a good job on the environments. It's part of why I like replaying these games so much, and why I have over 300 hours combined on Half-Life 2 and the episodes. Also, almost all that time was done before Valve added workshop support last year, and now I finally got to mess around with that, which was pretty fun. Look at the Vortigaunt buddy! Look at what they did to them, bro. They destroyed them. Anyways.
Are you the only ones on?
Lol. Lol. What are you gonna do?
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
I really like how the game doesn't point out all the events that happen around you as you play, and paying attention is actually helpful in understanding the situation. For example, this Combine Overwatch announcement starts playing as you make your way through the apartments, declaring a miscount in the current block. You might not instantly connect that announcement to the beginning of the chase sequence that continues all the way through the first portion of the game, but on replay it might become more obvious. Barney intercepting you at the very beginning stopped you from boarding the train to Nova Prospect, and then when you made your way out of the train station, you were picked up on multiple Combine surveillance cameras leading to the miscount, you being the extra unaccounted entity in this part of the city. It's similar to Half-Life 1 and all the various scientists you can come across that share bits and pieces of useful info about the status of the facility and where you're heading. There's a bunch of super cool but also complex speedrunning tech near the beginning of the game, including a skip for most of the Red Letter Day chapter that looks like magic if you don't know what's going on. I didn't want it to go off too much. I would have. Yes, bro. Yes, we did it, dude. Oh my god. Later on, there's even more crazy stuff that allows you to start clipping through walls with props, but again, it's pretty complex, and I limited myself to basic prop climbing and ABHing, which was still pretty fun to pull off on some of the later maps. And now I want to try speedrunning again, but saying that, I know it'll be my 10th attempt that I just give up on after a day, so... Leave me alone. I'm sinking. What was that? Hello? That was bullshit. Also, we all agree how stupid it is that your sprint and your flashlight and your oxygen meter are tied to the same bar, right? They fixed it in episode 2, but this game and episode 1 have moments where you suddenly run out of flashlight charge or stamina because it's been getting sucked from other sources and you didn't give it time to recharge. Like, I get that the HEV suit is this multi-purpose, super tough, high-tech armor that flushes out toxins and allows Gordon to live through otherwise mortal injuries, but then its flashlight batteries somehow run out because you ran out of breath, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It's a minor nitpick, though.
What if I... Yeah, there we go.
Better get going now.
We love the airboat on these parts. W vehicle. Also, an interesting observation is going to be made. If you take the airboat, and I think if you go here, yeah, water hazard, okay, right? But now, what if you go back? Yeah, basically, if you go and you do the level transition to water hazard, and then you come all the way back here, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fast head crab. And she's dead. Which is interesting because normally we're not supposed to see fast head crabs until we get to Ravenholm. This is actually the first time you get to see a fast head crab is here. I don't know why they did that, but it's a cool little, I don't know, Easter egg. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Yeah. Is that the G-Man? First G-Man sighting. Oh, is it the first G-Man sighting? I'm not sure. I think there were other sightings of G-Man beforehand. Gate is barricaded, but here's a little pro tip for the fans. It's barricaded because there are some explosive barrels that need to be shot down, which you can see the tops of right there. So instead of going through this whole thing, what you can very easily do is just stand back and aim a few well-placed shots at them. And, you know, that actually lets you go. Obviously, there's no mini-map, but this map gives a decent estimation of the path you take after you get the turret attachment for the boat. The lambda symbols are the resistance bases along the way, with the Black Mesa East being situated near the bottom, past the big open area where you engage in the final battle with the chopper. Also, regarding the chopper, I feel like there's definitely more than one hunting you down, since you heavily damage the one from the first half of Canals, and then get another one on your tail right away that starts dropping mines on you. I just don't buy that the same chopper you shot up ran off to get repaired, and then went back to harassing you again, all in the span of a few minutes.
Got something. You working with Eli and Dr. Kleiner when they were at the top of their field. Ah, there we go. You can come through now.
Wait, did I actually break it, or did it just turn off?
I'll take you down to Eli right away. He would never forgive me if I kept you waiting.
All
certainly use
characters in the Half-Life universe can
We've
teleport.
covered a lot
Confirmed.
of ground in the last few months, but things would go so much faster if we had more people with you.
Hello, Alex.
Take a look at this, Gordon.
Something Eli handle b.wav. G-Man's face is in here, and the OG HEV charging station faceplate somehow migrated over here from New Mexico. Okay, I wrote that as a bit, but now I'm thinking about it, and I don't see a reason why Kleiner or Eli would have this here. I'd assume they were pretty busy trying to get out of Black Mesa alive, and I don't think they'd be worrying about grabbing a souvenir to remember the good old days by. it's also pretty hefty. You know, you can't just shove it in your pocket, and even Gordon needs the gravity gun to lift it up. I do appreciate the callback, though.
Oh! I'm in the tunnels! There's nothing here.
Okay, Gordon, let's try something else. Dog, throw something bigger. Throw it, dog.
I'm on top of the world! I made it! No clip. I made it up here without any no clip. There's actually a crazy, like, climb challenge.
No, dog. No, no, boy. Down. Put that down. Gotta head back to the lab.
I'm coming. Way ahead of you, actually. So slow, man. Yeah, I was sick, though. I've never tried that, but the fact that that's actually possible is crazy.
And now Ravenholm is a fun little segment that acts as a playground for the newly acquired gravity gun. Here I learned for the first time now that paint cans actually paint the surfaces and enemies they hit, so that's neat.
Oh, wait, I didn't know that happens. I didn't know that was an interaction. I didn't realize that you could paint the zombies. Look, he's so white. Bro, wait, that's sick. I swear, at 300 hours, I've never known about that interaction.
And I also realized that both segments where you have to wait around for the lift to arrive can be trivialized very easily by more or less hiding from the enemies. Yeah, they really just can't jump over these boxes, I guess.
Is that it? I say that's it, but this is like a whole ass SMG nade right there. That's quite valuable. Hey, oh, come down. Oh, scary. Not dying, but I think I got stuck on that crap there. Go in here. Close the door. That's it. That's the whole plan. What are you gonna do? Open the door? Nah, I don't think so. Yeah, so you can literally just double back. Wait. Which one's the real one? Now I have two. That means both are coming with me. No? Okay, now the problem is how do I work with two SMG grenades? You know what? I'm gonna leave one for you and hope. You know, I guess we'll just see when I edit the video, I'll be able to figure out which grenade is mine and which isn't, but I'm grabbing this one. So, I don't even know which one it is, but yeah, in the editing, editor me, please tell the audience which of these grenades is the real one.
Follow me, brother.
And, yeah. Let's hope that this is the grenade that I started out with. Oh my god, this is so stupid. I did not intend for there to be a switcheroo happening, but, you know.
Back when I tried to make a video on the Half-Life 2 games over 2 years ago, I did this thing where I stitched all the games together into one continuous story with breakpoints in the form of a day counter. Exiting the Mine had a Day 2 title that faded in as Particle Ghost started playing, but I ended up scrapping the video so it didn't go anywhere. All this to say, this transition to the outside, with it now being completely light, is quite strange to me. Of course, time moves faster in-game than normal, but I always thought it would be more realistic to have this train track section happen as dawn breaks, with the sun properly rising by the time you reach the pier.
Look, he's kind of slow, so we're going to be doing it our way. Wait. There we go. That's about right. Whee! It feels as if the entire coast section was built with the unintended movement tech in mind, since there are so many parts that are perfect for gaining speed and ramping off slope terrain to fly over to the other side of the map. Imagine how much worse it would be if the map designers put large clip brushes further out into the water, stopping you from being able to swim around or do all this other cool stuff. Instead, they reprised the leeches as the preventative measure, keeping unnecessary brushes to a minimum. I do wish they added the ichthyosaur here as well, since it seemed like they had plans for it that ended up getting cut. If they did go through with it, I bet it would have made for some pretty great Subnautica-style horror moments. I mean, Half-Life could definitely pull off horror pretty well.
It's never usually that bad in any of the games, so I'll play through. What the fuck?
Detected.
It's too easy, bro. Go again. I'm not satisfied. I want the cleanest clip of my life, bro. Dude, that would have been insane. I'm just saying, that would have been insane, bro. I did it! No shot! I actually hit him there! What?
Freeman will have need of these pheropods on the paths ahead. Gather them now.
Oh! Oh my god. I forgot I had this mod installed. Yeah, you can't be in you have to be in water that's like allows you to swim. Oh! Oh! Oh my god! That was perfection, bro. That was actually perfection. Holy shit. Well, it wasn't perfection, obviously, but... Dude! They're flabbergasted. They're all flabbergasted. They're like, bro, what was that? Even I can't quite tell. That was crazy. Traveling along the coast takes all day, so you reach Nova Prospekt by night. The same Nova Prospekt Barney mentioned at the very beginning, a large prison repurposed by the Combine into a multi-purpose facility. This is the place anti-citizens get sent to be turned into stalkers, and is also where Combine soldiers undergo biomechanical modification, something that can be seen as you make your way through the complex. Before that, you have to manage to get through the prison's courtyard, and I always thought this place would look really cool if it started raining as you fought off the gunship and soldiers stationed around the perimeter. It's strange that none of the Half-Life games had any sections with rain, even though the source engine allows for that effect. Here, I even made a small map in the Hammer editor to show it off, so, you know, Valve can hire me anytime. I'm just kidding. The prison raid ends up being pretty fun due to the bug bait and infinite antlion horde at your disposal, which actually stops working once you reach deeper into the building where the antlions haven't yet burrowed to. This leads me to a cool moment from Entropy 02, a Half-Life fan game where you play as a Combine soldier on a mission to, just fuck up the resistance. It starts inside of Nova Prospekt, where you, Unit 3650, aka Aiden Walker, aka Bad Cop, wake up after undergoing modifications and witness the mess that is Nova Prospekt after Gordon's arrival. Now, I'm a sucker for games revisiting locations after time passes, and even though here we're talking about two different games, it's cool to recognize the same building interiors that are now much more overrun with antlions. Oh, also, that game actually had the pit drones from opposing force in one of the sections, while also writing itself pretty significantly into the Half-Life 2 story, but I'm not about to open that can of worms. Entanglement's my new best friend. Yo, Alex, sup? Oh. There's up! Alex, I believe Alex got this, bro. She got this burst fire. Yeah! You get him. Go get him. You got this, I believe.
No.
Huh. Well, that's alright. That was brutal. Now that... Oh my god. Try again, huh? That didn't... Dude, these shotgun guys pack a punch, man. It seems like I need to go first, you know? Yeah, that's a bit yikes, honestly. I'm going. Oh damn, the turrets are going crazy. They killed 2 of the elites. Holy shit. Well, it's more like these guys are just gonna die. You got this. Don't even worry. Don't even trip, dog.
My God, we made it.
Speaking of revisiting locations, City 17 is now rampant with resistance and Combine fighting, sparked by Gordon and Alex's infiltration and apparent destruction of Nova Prospect. Using the Combine teleporter to make it to Kleiner's lab didn't go completely smoothly, since it took a whole week, and while it isn't explained exactly why, teleporters being a completely fictitious technology and all that, my canon is that it's due to the different technology used in both, resulting in compatibility issues. In that time frame, a lot has happened, resulting in the big shift from the peaceful City 17 to what it is now. The city segment gets split into 2 parts, the one without Barney and the one with Barney. With Barney, you end up storming another Combine-occupied building, and Barney proceeds to throw the whole operation by zoning out while half a dozen Combine soldiers start blasting him at point-blank range. Word of advice here, make a hard save before entering the city hall, and don't backtrack out of it afterwards, as otherwise Barney's AI breaks and he stops following you, soft-locking you from getting the barriers down.
I'm just gonna hope that those things pop off. In the meantime... Is it ever gonna hit him? Oh my god, bro.
After disabling the suppression device and getting to ground floor, you enter what I consider the final stretch of City 17, as the Combine starts sending out Striders and gunships through the streets, making getting through a lot more challenging. It's a real fun segment, featuring all aspects of combat, and you ended off atop a crumbling building, taking on 2 Striders simultaneously, or more accurately, getting blown up by 2 Striders simultaneously. I really gotta stop underestimating hard difficulty.
That's... My god, that guy does a lot of damage. Wow.
Dr. Breen, tell him I said.
I like how they actually recorded him saying fuck you, but they just tried to mask it with the sound of Dog dropping the gate down. But like the voice line, he literally says fuck you in the voice line, so it's pretty cool. Let me try some tech.
We all know the Citadel, but we don't all love the Citadel. It's more of a victory lap than anything. Not really challenging, but a good bit of fun since you get the powered up gravity gun to atomize some soldiers.
I saw this in a speedrun and I was like, dude, this is like the coolest thing of all time. Oh, but it's hard to do. Do I have to jump while doing it? What? Oh, it's so clean. Shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear you talking anymore.
The pod ride segments aren't anything special, just kind of whatever. You do get a glimpse at some additional unused Combine units, more biomechanically modified organisms like the Striders and gunships, so that's cool. After that, it's on to the final fight. Not really a boss fight, more of a who can climb to the top first fight, at which point you blast the Citadel's reactor with a convenient stream of energy orbs and almost die, but not quite. The G-Man steps in to say a few words.
Maybe we still have...
Time, Dr. Freeman? Is it really that time again? It seems as if you only just arrived. You've done a great deal in a small time span. You've done so well, in fact, that I've received some interesting offers for your services. Ordinarily, I wouldn't contemplate them, but these are extraordinary times. Rather than offer you the illusion of free choice, I will take the liberty of choosing for you. if and when your time comes round again. I do apologize for what must seem to you an arbitrary imposition, Dr. Freeman. I trust it will all make sense to you in the course of... well, I'm really not at liberty to say. In the meantime, this is where I get off.
Episode 1 is considered the worst of the Half-Life series, but honestly, I find it as enjoyable as the other games. It's short, and I like what Valve were doing with Alex as a permanent companion, since you normally don't see that in games, and in both the episodes, she isn't a hindrance, but actually feels like a capable sidekick of sorts. The whole theme of getting the hell out of City 17 is also really cool, again, since we've gone from this to this, and have seen that transformation happening in real time. Before that, though, it's time for another Citadel section, which I think is a step up from the end of Half-Life 2.
Okay, dog, let's do it. Before I change my... Okay. Careful, hold on. Whoa. Phew. Whew. Good throw, dog. You'll be fine.
The little dudes.
What now?
Oh.
Whoa. Hold on. Phew. All right, let's get off before the next ride starts.
That's a good idea.
What the hell?
An interesting theory about this specific advisor is that it's actually Dr. Breen, who we saw last right at the end of Half-Life 2, falling after the reactor got destroyed. There's no concrete evidence for this theory, but there was Episode 3 concept art depicting Breen in an advisor's body, and Mark Laidlaw created a Twitter account called BreenGrub in 2012. The account made tweets from 2012 to 2014 from the perspective of a younger Breen whose consciousness was copied into an advisor host. The post also provided some history about the advisors, or as the Vortigons called them, Sheulathoi, and also goes into more detail regarding the inner workings of the Combine. While none of this is canon, it was fascinating to read, and if you want to look into it yourself, I'll link the wiki page about it in the description.
I have a feeling it's bad news for all of us. There's something else. It's Judith. Take a look.
I didn't mention Mossman's betrayal earlier because she pretty much ended up in the same place she started, backing up the Resistance and going off north on some mission during the time gap between Half-Life 2 and Episode 1. Here, Alex finds a message from Mossman that got intercepted by the Combine, alongside a bunch of data that the Combine were attempting to send off via the Citadel's explosion. Later, we learn about the importance of that data and get more info about what Mossman is up to, but for now, it's time to get the fuck out of the city.
Oh my god.
Alex.
Brace yourself.
No, you brace yourself. I'm fine. Oh.
Let's head for the surface.
Oh. Anyways.
Earlier I said how the flashlight being stuck together with the sprint and oxygen bar was bad, and even though Episode 1 doesn't change that, the underground parking lot areas were pretty manageable.
A Combine zombie?
It's pitch black, so you'd think you'd be running out of flashlight juice frequently, but the game gives you plenty of flares for one, and even if you don't use them, the flashlight consumes power very slowly. You also don't need to sprint around a lot since the space is pretty cramped, so you end up having flashlight to spare most of the time, and then you enter areas that are more lit up where the problem vanishes entirely. It's only that ending section that I still struggle with sometimes, but that's about it.
It's here. Oh, let's go.
Alright. That wasn't as bad as I thought. Yeah, you should probably organize some... It's not so bad.
That's it. See if the crank still works. Come on, Gordon, crank that thing.
I'm closing it back down, bro. We're not getting out of here.
Good job sealing the burrows.
Is there? Oh. He got off the gun. He got back on the gun. Oh, he forgets about me. Just man, I want to get your attention, bro. You're just falling through the ground? Okay.
Gordon, Alex.
There's a theory I saw somewhere that one of the two crowbars Barney gives to Gordon is the same one the scientist from Blue Shift had right at the end of the game, and the other crowbar is the same one that he used in Blue Shift. The only confirmation is the line where he tells Gordon he dropped it at Black Mesa, so not sure what to think of that.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Hey, Gordon, before you go, I was getting tired of carrying this around. Listen, I don't have many more of these, so try not to lose this one, okay? Go on across, Gordon. She's waiting for you. You lucky dog, you.
Also on the note of Barney, Alex did say he and Gordon knew each other from the Black Mesa days. They were both students of Dr. Kleiner, so you could confidently say they were and are close friends.
You guys coming?
Go on, Barney. They're not after you. Gordon and I will draw their attention while you get the others away from here. We can grab another train once you're clear.
Okay, then. Don't take too long about it, yeah?
Here, let's open up this next track.
Sadly, episode 1 is the last we'll see of Barney, as he rides off into the sunset, his promise of buying Gordon a beer left unfulfilled. I'm telling you, Valve still has a chance to set things right with the Half-Life 3 ending. Also, props to Valve for making a fun Strider fight that's more than just shoot the thing with rockets until it explodes. I like this fight way more than the gunship fight from earlier in the episode, since there you had to avoid falling through the floor, which broke as the gunship shot at you, which was annoying. There they also positioned the rocket resupply crate in a very awkward spot, so you'd have to bounce across the support beams to get to it to refill, leaving yourself open in the process. With the Strider, you have to weave through a bunch of containers to reach the opposite side of the station where the rocket crate is, while fighting off Combine along the way.
I just don't know, bro.
It's a lot less frustrating than the gunship fight, and sneaking through all the obstacles while avoiding the Strider felt satisfying. There were like 1 or 2 moments that felt cheap because of some explosive barrels that were placed in your way, but other than that, it was very solid.
Alright. It's actually very simple when you get down to brass tacks. Yo, fuck you. I'm living like this. Ain't no one. There we go. I've achieved my freedom at last.
Minor fracture detected. Major fracture detected.
We're out, boys.
Warning.
Is this the end of the map?
Critical.
Huh, interesting. Don't come back. Okay, you cannot lie, that was kind of a sick trick that I did there.
I think we're actually gonna make it out of here. Quick now, let's get the train.
Don't jinx it. What's with Alex and jinxing train rides, huh?
Here we go.
She's 2 for 2 so far.
We did it, Gordon.
You mean I did it? You just watched? Oh, Beryl. Beryl. You just said that. Beryl. Yes. This barrel's coming with. Can you click me out? Oh, what's going on? Oh, I kind of missed it. I was too busy looking at the barrel. I'm tweaking on this barrel, bro. Oh. No! Come here. No, the barrel. Oh, damn. Why am I acting surprised, bro? I've seen this shit like 10 times. Why am I acting like this is crazy to me? Ooh. Alex, they're doing it to us. The advisor pods are cooling out. It's gonna brain blast us. You got nothing to say, apparently. Oh my god, too close.
Episode 2, aka my favorite Half-Life installment, is a lot meatier than Episode 1. Took me about twice as long to beat, and it was a blast the whole way through. I mean, no surprises there, right? This has been like the Half-Life Glaze Fest, so of course I'm gonna say I like it. Now I'm mainly here for the forest and cave environments, which serve as a perfect contrast to the crumbling orange cityscape, and all the new gameplay and characters elevate the episode above the rest while not dragging on at any point. The story also gets pushed further with more details and revelations that surely get resolved in the next episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's interesting to, I mean, it's not like you can't really see much, but there's like the city proper. Wait, is it just reflected? No, it's not, but like there's, I don't know what those lines are. But yeah.
Getting out of the train wreck, you come across a broadcast room for the nearby mine that Alex uses to contact White Forest Base, where Eli and Klein are evacuated to. She mentions the Mossman message and the data she yoinked in the last episode, and Dr. Magnuson, Dr. Kleiner's colleague, explains that the data most likely contains the Combine portal codes, which are necessary to establish a portal connection to the Combine overworld. As the name implies, it's not a very friendly place, and if the Combine do manage to establish the connection, well...
7-hour war all over again. Except this time we won't last 7 minutes.
For that not to happen, your job becomes reaching White Forest with the data intact, so that it can be used to sever the establishing connection before it's too late. And spoiler alert, it's never going to be too late. I checked. Also, the gnome is here, so...
Oh yeah, I already know about you. This guy.
Not even 5 minutes after this conversation, Alex gets bodied by a hunter and Gordon decides to take a nap.
Hey! No, not the gnome! Oh! I can't really do much here. You know... Not my proudest moment. Not my best moment. The gnome's gone. Oh. Oh, he's crazy, bro. Oh my god.
With this begins the slight detour where you travel down into the mines to meet up with some Vortigons who can revive Alex. Here you also meet Griggs and Sheckley, two Resistance members that are way too underprepared to be sitting around in the midst of an antlion nest. I'd imagine they pulled the short straws when getting assigned positions.
No offense, Freeman, but things were pretty quiet until you showed up. I think we misunderestimated. Look alive.
Wait, did you just say miss? Did you just misunderestimated?
Get ready. Oh god, get ready. 3 lights. This is gonna be bad.
Hello? Oh, the Vorta Bros are here. Yo.
Haven't mentioned the music yet, but it's been 10 out of 10 since the very beginning. If you've seen my other videos, you probably noticed that I use the Half-Life soundtracks throughout, mostly ambient songs, but the more intense ones are just as good, if not better, when they play during the game. Episode 2 has a few such moments, like this one with the Vortigons and another near the end of the game that get made so much more memorable and engaging because of the music. Hats off to Kelly Bailey.
must get there immediately. Now to the next matter of urgency.
You over there? Oh, hi. So you got this thing. Go, go, go! Yeah! It hurts. It hurts. It does hurt. It does hurt. That's just, if anyone was wondering. It does indeed hurt. Alright. Let's go down here now. Oh, is that a crate? Oh, shit! Oh. Watch out, bro! You're gonna die! Damn. Get the... I wonder.
No pit would be complete without a freeman climbing out.
True that, brother. True as words I've heard all day. Oh,
Behold, across the chasm. That immense repellent device promises to cease from endless antlion attacks. If the freeman is in agreement, let us find our way to that vibratory haven.
I got you, bro. What's up, guys? Oh, shit! Whoa, you're looking kind of weird there, Alex. What's going on? That's a pretty cool, like, flesh texture, though.
Dr. Freeman. I realize this moment may not be the most convenient for a heart-to-heart, but I had to wait until your friends were otherwise occupied.
I also haven't mentioned the G-Man in a minute. He did appear in the first episode, but got blocked by a bunch of superpowered vorts that were responsible for taking you out of G-Man's stasis and saving Alex from the blast at the top of the Citadel. Haven't seen him since, probably due to the Vortigaunt's protection, but now with them being distracted, he's able to slip in and do a light bit of trolling.
When you see your father, relay these words. Prepare for unforeseen means.
She stirs.
After Alex recovers, you continue on your way to White Forest, now guided by the Vortigaunt from the beginning, who helps you find a car, which you'll need to make up for all the time spent underground. Here we get our first in-person G-Man sighting since Highway 17, although he did appear later into Half-Life 2 on various screens like the one in Nova Prospekt and on that creepy TV in City 17 during the Rebellion.
It appears they attempted an escape, but made it no farther than the abyss.
Well, if they got it over there, maybe we can jump it back to this side.
Jump it back, you say?
We recommend the Freeman.
I got this. Alex said something about the grenade, but... Oh, I see the car yet. It's right here. No, not the freaking bridge. There we go, let's drift it back. Oh yeah. After crossing to get the car and jumping it back across, you part ways with the Vortigaunt, who says he'll be going back to hunting down advisors who haven't hatched out of their pods yet. And now for those that have brought the gnome along, begins the best part of the episode. If only I could just stick him on like a fucking hood ornament.
Stay safe.
Likewise, and farewell. It has been an honor.
I know. Don't do it. On the straightaways, it's fine. It's when you start turning. Oh, right, and he still has the property of being a fucking bouncy. Oh, this is gonna be a long chapter, isn't it?
Here, let me open the gate.
Oh, now you're gonna open the game? Okay. Okay, Alex, I see how it is. Here. It's a little present for me, to you. Have fun. Opa! Okay, it's fine. I landed in some water. It's no big deal. You can only really speed up on straightaways, but even then, if you catch a bump or something, he's flying. Like, for example, here. I swear to God. This guy. Wait, Alex is gone. She got out of the car. She's gone now. What was that? 6 run over hunters, 1 new fetish, and 100 stops to pick up the gnome later. You reach a resistance base and to help them deal with the hunter chopper that followed you here. After all the acrobatics you did with the car, smashing through a wooden gate is what put it out of commission, apparently, so now you have to wait while the rebels fix it up. In the meantime, you go off to disable a combine autogun that was set up overlooking the main road right outside the outpost in this cool semi-stealth segment. Bro, what are you doing over here? Oh, they call them necrotics. I'm on the roof, boys. There you go. Goodbye, autogun.
Clearing out the yard, Freeman. Heck of a job.
Come on, Gordon, get in.
What? What the hell? Problems with portals, I guess. Back on the road, the car is now outfitted with a radar, pointing out the locations of hidden supply caches, and the puzzles for them are quite clever, utilizing source engine physics to the fullest. I'm specifically talking about the grenade boost puzzle, as seeing it used in speedruns made seeing it utilized intentionally a bit of a surprise. The loot is also well worth it, as getting the RPG early saves a lot of hassle on the hotel ambush that happens down the line. Past that, it's a clear shot to White Forest, and you meet up with Dog along the way after he solos a strider that crash-landed in your path. I just ruined everything, bro. Also, I didn't pick up on it until now, but this dropship carrying a strider most definitely foreshadows the strider assault on the silo that happens later.
Oh no! Dog, Dog, are you alright? Wake up, Dog. Please.
Come on, bro.
You're alright.
Easy.
Okay, Dog. Race you to the base. Step on it, Gordon. This is it. We made it.
Sorry, Dog, but... Alright, Alex, BRB. Here, bro. What's up? Getting to White Forest, you aren't out of the woods yet. I mean, you are in a forest after all. Yes, that joke wrote itself. I like how even though you're technically at home, things aren't going smoothly, and you don't feel safe because of all the hunters and combine soldiers pouring in through the secondary silo. Whoa! Why there's gotta be so many leaking fucking gas pipes, bro. Also, unplayable! How the fuck am I gonna immerse myself in this game when the textures are bugging like that? This thing is great for killing hunters. Long. Can be shoved right in there. Also pretty decent at killing combine.
Like usual, you end up resolving the situation, and everything goes back to normal until the sleeper agent inside Alex gets activated, and she relays G-Man's words to Eli.
Prepare for unforeseen consequences.
What did you say?
Dad! Okay. It's okay. Just lean into me.
Oh yeah, also they mentioned the Borealis and Aperture Science, but, that's not important or anything.
Cave Johnson, new owner and CEO of Black Mesa. That's right, you've been bought. First order of business, we're renaming you under the Aperture brand. I'm leaning towards Blapature Mesa. Marketing boys think something else. So, Blapature it is. Next, they tell me you people are conducting some anomalous materials research that could result in a resonance cascade. So, I'm shutting that down before you idiots end the world. A resonance cascade. You're supposed to be scientists. Use some common sense.
Now this moment with Eli is really important, since now we know of another person who's had contact with the G-Man, ignoring Odessa, and who is involved in whatever the G-Man is planning on a larger scale. We kind of already knew this, but Eli also confirms the G-Man's involvement in the resonance cascade, that he was the one who orchestrated it by bringing in that Zen crystal sample that caused everything to go downhill. If you stop to think about it, all the Half-Life games are showing off this crazy butterfly effect, starting with one small event that cascades to impact the entire planet. As for all that stuff Eli has to discuss with Gordon after all this is over,
We'll talk later.
we all already know that's not happening. Now you approach the final hurdle, a bunch of striders that need to be repelled before Magnuson's rocket can be safely launched into orbit. Considering each of these dong-rocking tripods takes 7 rockets to take down on hard, you'll instead be utilizing the seemingly endless supply of Magnuson devices to pop their holes. Don't know about you, but I find these devices extremely satisfying to use if you ignore the hunters that seem to have aimbot when it comes to shooting them out of the air. Again, shouldn't be a big problem since you have the car, although be prepared to lose a building or two. The sawmill is nearly impossible to protect unless you pre-fire the second strider. Just look at how fast it is.
Wow.
Other than that, it's another really fun segment that I only now attempted to do without any saves coming, and I actually liked it more this way. It was a lot more tense and gratifying to pull off.
There you go. That's it. Damn, I'm surprised. That was not as hard as I thought it would be. I thought that would be harder. That was what?
Riders have been defeated. All personnel return to base immediately. Repeat. All personnel
That was fun though.
return to base immediately.
Hey.
Thank you, thank you.
With all the enemies taken care of, you get to watch the launch, which I remind you is the second rocket launch in the Half-Life franchise. I guess Valve just had a thing for rockets back in the day or something.
Let's do it.
Stations, everyone.
Half-Life lamp below wood.
Main thrusters. Steady on. We're launching.
7, 6, 5,
Steady.
4, 3, 2,
Yeah.
We did it!
Wow. We sure did.
Yes!
Fantastic.
This ending is perfect as far as I'm concerned. The game sets up this peaceful and victorious atmosphere, and you no doubt feel relieved after all the fighting you've gone through to get here. The rocket works, the Combine overworld connection is suppressed, and things look like they're going well for the first time in a while, until they aren't.
We sure as hell did, and not a moment too soon.
I'll bet the Combine aren't too happy right now.
You got that right, sweetheart. But we've got plenty to celebrate. I wish you didn't have to head off so soon. If only it weren't so critical.
It's okay, Dad. We'll find Judith and bring her back. Dog? Hey, where are you? What a nut. Don't go too far. Well, there she is. Gassed up and ready to go.
Remember to keep in constant contact. We have no idea what to expect.
Don't worry, Dad. We'll be all right.
I just wish all this didn't have to fall on you, Alex. Your mother would be so proud.
Dad. Come on, Gordon. The chopper's waiting for us.
Are you sure you have everything you need?
I think so. Dr. Kleiner gave us the Borealis coordinates. We'll keep the hailing frequency open on the chopper radio in case Judith tries to reach us again.
Good idea. She could well make another attempt.
Oh no. Dad! Gordon! Dad!
Alex!
Dad! Oh. Get away!
Listen to me. Destroy that ship. Whatever it takes. Destroy it.
Don't! Dad, look out! No! Dad! Dad! God damn it, let go of him! Oh my God!
I love you, sweetheart. Close your eyes, honey.
I love you, Dad!
Don't look.
No! Oh my God, no! No! Gordon! Dog! Dad! Oh God! Dad! Dad! Dad, please! Dad! Oh my God! No! No! Oh my God! Dad! No! Don't leave me!
Yeah, this one's going into S tier. Thank you, Valve. And that's almost all the Half-Life games covered. I attempted this video a few years back, but there I was doing a more in-depth retelling of the game's events, and it was more boring and longer, so I scrapped the video idea until now. Hopefully this was fun to watch. I had fun recording this, since it was just a partial excuse to play Half-Life again, and who am I to pass that up? Other than that, I don't have much except for an announcement of sorts. Basically, I got this idea for a challenge: play through Half-Life 1, 2, and the episodes in order without dying in any of them on hard difficulty. I started thinking about this when I realized that all the events in those games happen in the span of a few days from Gordon's perspective, and it would be cool to recreate the canon way the events transpired, where Gordon was able to make it through everything that was thrown at him. It would definitely be an endurance challenge that requires a lot of focus and practice, since the smallest slip-up could result in a reset. I decided that if I ever do start the challenge, I would most likely take the opportunity to start streaming here as well, since then I could better document my runs and hopefully get others interested in potentially trying the challenge themselves. Alright, I think that's everything. Thanks for watching.